things that I really want to talk about tonight is youth basketball development.
Mm-hmm.
We've all gone through it.
Yep.
We've all had to build ourselves up as players. You now have two sons, one who's basically gone through it and the other one who's right in the middle of it.
Yep.
You grew up in Europe. You know, I grew up in Canada. It always fascinates me how people develop and what systems. And so your foundation, the Luka Doncic Foundation, has obviously made this incredible study. You commissioned a study called Inside Youth Basketball, like 300-something pages where for a month they studied how people are trained and grow up playing the game in Europe versus how they're trained and playing the game in the US, and trying to find out as many things as possible to help kids get better.
Yeah.
What inspired this for you?
I think just seeing like kids not pulling out of sports these days, you know, more and more kids are pulling out the sports, just probably don't have. So we're trying to combine the weaknesses and the strength together. So, you know, the main thing was just kids to have fun playing basketball, especially when you're young. You know, you want to have fun, not think about anything, just go out there and have fun.
So there's been a study that claims that 70% of kids quit youth sports by the time they're 13 because basically the joy is pushed out of it, too much pressure, not enough fun. I'd love to know about your childhood. Like, how did you, both of you, how did you fall in love with basketball?
Well, for me, I wasn't good at any other sports except soccer. I was
okay?
Not like you.
I've seen your first touch.
Not like
bad.
you, but you know.
But I've also seen you hit a tennis ball.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Tennis, soccer, and basketball were the main ones. I played even volleyball. I played. So it was, for me, it was fun just to do sports. And then I went outside. You know, like after school, I went outside every time just to play basketball.
Yeah.
Playing hoops from a young age, or playing anything?
Anything.
Anything.
But mostly basketball.
Yeah.
But
because your dad, Sasha, was EuroLeague.
Yes.
Played in the EuroLeague, great player. So you obviously
he was okay.
He was okay. All right. Just making sure. But I mean, but that's also like my dad was a soccer player, so I grew up playing in the backyard playing soccer. It must have had an influence on you.
Yeah, for sure. Like I went to his games. You know, I started like being ball boy. I was a lot of ball boy. In EuroLeague games, I was ball boy for Olympia. So that's how I used my time to just get on basketball. The latest game, before the game, halftime and after game, I was just shooting.
And what about you, LeBron? Like, what was the first moment when basketball came into your life and you're like, I love this?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the exact moment, but, you know, I think I was able to watch it. You know, when I got to see some of the greatest that played the game, I was inspired by them. Like I was inspired by MJ and, you know, inspired, you know, by Anthony Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill and those guys. Like their sneakers inspired me. The commercials they used to do back then inspired me. And then, you know, just being outside, you know, I was always a kid that just wanted to play. Whatever it was. If we was playing tag, if we was playing football, if we was playing baseball, if we was playing football, basketball.
You played everything.
Everything, kickball. You know, that was very popular in my community. Just running around and just exerting as much energy as possible till the lights, you know, in the street came on. It was time to get in the house. Like I just wanted to do whatever. And then I think once I got into like, you know, the youth leagues where it started being competitive, I actually loved the competitive nature of basketball. You know, being out there 5-on-5 and we're playing for something. You know, we're playing to see who can score the most points and win the game. You know, and then ultimately it got to like, oh, if we win the majority of the games, we can win something. We win a champ, have a banquet and have medals and little trophies. Like that stuff inspired me, you know, because I watched, you know, NBA guys and college guys at the end of the season, they get to host a trophy or whatever. I thought that was pretty inspiring. So, you know, as a kid, you're just always inspired by the ones that's already doing it. You know, I think that was a big moment for me for sure.
It's funny you said the commercials. Like I didn't really start playing hoops till I was about 13. Like played hockey, soccer, baseball, lacrosse. The team what really got me into basketball was Michael Jordan. The first Air Jordan shoes, commercials for Spike Lee, just like you were saying. Like that stuff inspires you as a young kid. It's like a fun time to get into the game. But what I heard from both of you that I think is really important is you played informally.
For sure.
You weren't playing on the playground. You were playing in the street. You were playing all the time informally. And it leads me to a topic here that I think the study really highlights is that especially in the United States, youth sports has been commercialized.
Yeah.
Youth sports. So like, this is my way of explaining it. When I grew up, you play soccer and hockey in the winter, you play baseball, box lacrosse in the summer. And it costs you like $100 a season for each sport. Well, some entrepreneur, someone says, well, I need to make a business of this, said, well, if I can sell the dream to the family, the little Sarah or Johnny, they might have a chance to go somewhere with this, but they got to commit to this sport for the year at 6, 7, 8.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Right? So what happens is now the parents are involved. There's a system. They're not playing informally. It leads to personal trainers, strength and conditioning coaches.
Everything.
Like trying to unpack that and rewind it is like, now we don't, like how many times do you drive by a park now and see kids playing basketball?
Very rare.
Not much.
Like your boys just come through the whole system.
Yeah.
Like, do they go to the park and play with their friends?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely. They did play outside a little bit, but mostly it's indoors. They didn't.
And programmed.
Yeah, and programmed. And they lived, for the majority of the time, my kids growing up lived in, South Florida and lived in Southern California. Yeah. So it wasn't no reason for them not to be outside.
Right.
I get it if they, the majority of the time, grew up in Northeast Ohio where you have 4 seasons and it's hard to get on the outdoor court where it's 6 inches of snow or it's raining crazy. It's not the thing. And like you said, I think not allowing kids to just go out and just, explore all sports, basketball, football, soccer, lacrosse, track and field. Like me and my guys, we ran track and field as well when we were like super duper young. We played football all the way, American football all the way through high school, we didn't just cap it at one thing, you just did one thing all year round. And I think a lot of kids burn the hell out. Yeah. You just tell them to do okay, I'm gonna just do this one all year round. I'm just play basketball or just play volleyball or just play soccer all year round.
Yeah.
You burn out, at 22, 23, 24, because you've just been doing it since or younger.
13,
yeah,
70%.
13. They just they say, fuck the hell with it. I'm done. I don't even want to play no more.
Yeah.
So I don't think putting the cap on these kids, being able to, they should be able to just explore, man.
Do they still play on the playground in Slovenia?
Not much.
Even there, it's still more programmed now. It's fascinating to me because I think what happens is that's where we develop the joy, right? It's playing with your friends, not a coach telling you what to do. It's trial and error.
And it's like on the playground, you're allowed to make mistakes and nobody's going to say anything. Yeah. And I think that's like one of the main points too.
And that's where you I think every generation learns from the one before, but you also learn from the playground trial and error.
Yeah.
Like you go and play, you try stuff. Yeah. It doesn't work. Exactly. No one says, don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like this late passes, that develops, things you did at your size that no one did. It didn't do if you weren't handling the ball. You had a coach saying, you're our 4 from the time you're, 10 years old.
Yeah. Right? I didn't have a basketball trainer until 2nd, 3rd, maybe 4th year in the NBA.
Right.
Like my basketball training was just being on the court. Let's just go hoop.
Yeah.
Let's go hoop. Let's
100%.
5-on-5 or 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 or like a game that we played, when I was growing up was called 33 or 21. Yeah. Basically it's one man for himself and you could be guarded by all your friends. And if I score, I go to the free throw line, I shoot 2 free throws and I get it back. Yeah. And that's how a lot of creation started with me, being able to dribble around 3 or 4 guys, going behind the back, being able to shoot, getting physical with your friends, so it definitely helped me out a lot. Tremendously.
And let me ask you, pose this for you. So you're out there trying to get between 2, 3, 4 guys at your size, or even my size. What is more joyful? Where do you learn? We learn a lot faster through trial and error. Or a coach saying, here's the cones. No. I want you to cross over, spin. That's gone for our kids in a way.
Yeah.
Right? We don't get that time to just play, to try things, to make mistakes, to play weird games, right? Yeah. Like you would never go to a skills coach right now and he'd be like, all right, guys, 21.
No.
Right? You know what I mean? It's like, we got a program, we're going to try to teach. And so what happens is the joy, the creativity comes out of the game. And that's why you get kids quitting at 13. right? So, did you ever have that? Like, did you ever have skills coaches when you were growing up in Slovenia, or just your coach?
Not really, just my coach. Yeah.